Greetings animal lovers, and welcome to the channel. Before starting with the video, please note that no copyright infringement is intended and I do not own nor claim to own any right for the footage and photos that you will see. Until this century, the tiger was the uncontested ruler of its domain, an invincible predatory monarch. It reigned supreme not just in its legendary habitat, the wilds of India, but in the jungles and mangroves of Southeast Asia, the snowbound conifer forests of Siberia, and the steppes and mountains beyond the Caspian Sea, across nearly every corner of the Asian continent from Turkey in the west to Korea in the east. The national symbol of Russia is the brown bear, but there are places where the Russian clubfoot surrenders its reins to a stronger rival, to the true spirit of the mountains. The lord of the Siberian tiger is the Siberian tiger. It has no natural predator, except humans. It can hunt and eat anything, including the brown bear. As in other parts of Asia, the tiger has influenced the cultural and spiritual lives of the indigenous inhabitants. The indigenous natives of the Russian Far East, namely the Udega, Nanai, Orok and others. They all venerate and worship the tiger. A hallmark of the tiger cult is the fact that Siberia is the heartland of shamanism, the belief in spirits, whether good or bad, and shamans, the intermediaries between the material and spiritual worlds. Hunting was a sacred ritual, and in order for the hunt to succeed, the job of the shaman was to take the shape of an animal and travel to meet the deity who was in charge of the hunting. The shaman would dress up as animals and mimic their sounds and movements. Sharing the same land with the tiger for many generations, native inhabitants of the region came to recognize the tiger's dominant presence among wildlife. The tiger is admired for its strength and agility, and feared for its ferociousness. As a central figure in their culture and everyday life, the Siberian tiger is viewed by natives as an integral part of their universe, belief systems, and code of behavior. In this region of Russia, the great striped cat has been, for tens of thousands of years, the top predator and an indicator of the health of a remarkable plant and animal community. To the aboriginal Manchutungus people, tigers were masters of the tiger and played a powerful symbolic role in their myths, legends, and art. In the Amurashuri region, the Nanai, Udege, Orokai and Ulchi peoples revered Amba, the tiger, as a totemic animal, sacred ancestor, guardian of the forest and protector of ginseng. The Udege were often called tiger peoples, and they were so much in awe of the great striped cat that they did not even dare mention its name. If they came upon its tracks in the forest, they would bow respectfully and quietly retreat. The tiger occupies a special position in the Udege spirit world, whilst the position of the bear is somewhat lower. This is a characteristic of the Udege culture that is radically different from other ethnic minorities in Siberia and the Far East, who do not have tigers. The Udeges are able to hunt bears for meat and for the gallbladder without any taboo. However, the bear is also regarded as a venerable animal and respectful names are used, including Marfa, which means an old person. Like other indigenous peoples in the forest in Siberia and Far East, the Udeges traditionally carried out a special ritual, often called the Bear Festival, when hunters hunted a bear. As the master of the tiger is believed to be the highest judge. It teaches people the laws and partly instructs them about the order of the bear feast and blood sacrifice. Explaining the unusual qualities attributed to tigers, shamanists affirm that tigers are not just animals. Instead, they represent a special species of humans. This attitude is partly similar to the attitude towards bears. Nevertheless, tigers are considered much mightier than bears. The tiger is the highest judge and teaches laws to the people. Perhaps most striking in this tiger cult is the strict taboo against killing a tiger. It is strictly forbidden for an Udege or any other tribesman to kill a tiger. If, however, someone is unlucky enough to accidentally kill a tiger, for instance, in self-defense, or find a dead tiger in the tiger, he or she has no other choice than to bury it. When the tiger peoples worship a tiger, they are not expressing their awe at the beauty of the mighty beast. Nor do they think it is actually a human, rather, they are addressing the spirit inhabiting the animal because that spirit is able to influence people's circumstances via their mastery of the objectively manifested world. Vaillant discusses the indigenous groups of Prima Rai, saying that these aboriginal peoples conceive of the tiger as a supreme being and know it to be a consummate hunter and the undisputed lord of the tiger. This perception of the tiger has been manifested in the form of shrines erected in its honor and in the practice of hunters laying down their weapons to plead forgiveness upon crossing a tiger's path. Within this relationship, the human players do not assume a dominant position from which they attempt to overpower or control the tiger. Instead, the tiger is respected and even venerated, leading the people involved to act in such a way as to encourage peaceful coexistence. In 2000 started an annual celebration called Tiger Day. The festival begins with a parade through the city, with people dressed in tiger costumes and makeup, waving multicolored balloons and flags and calling out slogans in defense of the master of the tiger. This is followed by a full day of art contests, games, makeup and body art, and quizzes, and shows for children and adults. There is much singing and dancing. The event receives broad coverage in regional and city media. The tiger's cult is ubiquitous throughout Asia. Many locals worship this majestic animal and attribute religious qualities to it. The tiger can also be found in a Siberian monastery, which is one of Buddhism's most sacred sites. The Ivolginsky Thatsan, located in Ulinyud, is a Buddhist temple that was founded in 1945 as the only Buddhist spiritual center in the Soviet Union. The ancient Taoist idea of yin and yang suggests a tight relationship between the tiger and dragon symbols. The tiger crouches low to the rocky ground, a sign that the yin earth is the tiger's territory. Plants bend in the force of the wind, said to be created by the tiger's mighty roar. The tiger is respected in ancient China as the most powerful of all wild animals, and one opposite forces that combine to make up the universe. It stands for the yin. The dragon stands for the yang. Tiger and dragon energies gave birth to the first gods, as well as the first person, Pi and Ku. They are mortal enemies intricately linked together by destiny. The tiger's assault tactic is relentless and robust, while the dragon's combat technique refers to a soft style. With neither able to conquer the other, these kingly beasts represent a balance of power, hard and soft styles coming together to form a harmony between yin and yang. According to Chinese mythology, yin and yang were produced from chaos when the cosmos was first established, and they are said to live in harmony in the Earth's core. The four symbols, which are important mythological figures in Taoism, are the dragon, the phoenix, the black warrior and the white tiger of the West, also known as Byakko. Byakko is a celestial white tiger. His home is in the western sky. He spans 7 of the 28 Chinese constellations, taking up 1/4 of the entire sky. Both Andromeda and Pisces contain the constellations that make up the tiger's back. Mars and Taurus include the constellations that consist of the tiger's center. The constellations that comprise his head and front legs are found in Orion. Byakko is the guardian of the West. He represents the virtue of righteousness. He controls the wind. Byakko was transported from China to Japan along with the other 4 symbols. These ideas guided the construction of Japan's ancient capitals, which were devoted to one of the 4 symbols in each of the city's quadrants. Ancient burial mound excavations in Nara have uncovered Byakko murals on the walls of the tombs. Many Byakko fortune objects can be found at Matsuno Taisha, one of Kyoto's oldest shrines located in the western section of the city. The Tiger God Shrine is one of the most ancient and the most renowned Teochew Chinese temple in Bangkok. The shrine houses statues of the Tiger God, which is highly venerated among both Thai and Chinese people. To worship the tiger god, they normally use streaky pork, egg, and sweetened sticky rice. What makes this shrine attractive is the fame of the tiger god, who is believed to have an extreme power of blessing worshippers with good fortune. The Tiger Cave Temple is a Buddhist temple north-northeast of Krabi, Thailand. A sacred site, it is known for the tiger paw prints in the cave, tall Buddha statues and the strenuous flight of stairs to reach the summit. If you enjoy hiking, you can climb the 1,237 stairs to the top of the mountain to experience a breathtaking view. The foundation of the temple dates back to 1975, BE 2518, when a Vipassana monk named Ajahn Jumnian went to meditate in the cave. During his meditation, he witnessed tigers roaming around the cave. Another legend says that an actual huge tiger used to live and roam the cave. The Tiger Temple is a meditation complex of several caves in a jungle valley. This is one of the most popular temples in Krabi and it attracts many visitors. The naming of the temple comes from discoveries of a tiger paw print on the cave walls, and also the bulge of the cave resembling a tiger's paw. It might not be the first thought that comes to mind, but tigers are a ubiquitous sight in Taiwan. Unexpected, because tigers are not known to have inhabited the island. Hai, or tiger god, is often hidden under the altar or sitting in a small cave at the corner of a temple, yet its importance is beyond measure for many Taiwanese. Depending on where it is worshipped and the local tradition surrounding it, the tiger god is known by several names. It is also occasionally referred to as General Heaven Tiger or General Black Tiger. In fact, the tiger god holds the rank of general in the Chinese gods' pantheon. His main duties include exorcising evil spirits and guarding people's safety. In addition, there is a local saying according to which the deity attracts wealth by snapping it with its mouth. In some temples, tiger god's appearance includes an ancient coin placed in its mouth, as bringing wealth is also one of its duties. The sacrificial offerings given to tiger god are generally pork, lamb, beef, duck eggs, squid, and wine. In terms of fruits, offerings of apples represent peace, and pears represent removing or cleansing, while other fruits such as bananas, pineapples, and grapes are generally avoided as it is believed to invite trouble. The tiger god has a long history of using his powers to help the local people, as attested to by his continued worship. Explained in the words of the anthropologist of Chinese religion, Stephen Sangren, the deity's power and efficacy is self-evident in the sense that it finds expression in the popularity of people worshipping the deity. Efficacious gods are worshipped by the people. Continued worship is the only means of intersubjectively ascertaining a deity's power. Korea was originally known as the Land of Tigers. They were once found in the Korean peninsula's various mountains. The myth of Dangun, the legendary founder of Gojoseon, the first Korean kingdom, is where the Korean tiger first appeared on record. In this legend, a bear and a tiger desired to become humans. The bear became a woman after following the injunction to eat only mugwort and garlic in the cave for 100 days. This woman eventually became Dangun's mother. The tiger, on the other hand, couldn't stand the ordeal and fled, unable to fulfill its dream. The Korean tiger has long been a symbol of Korean history and folklore. It has been depicted in a variety of ways in Korean literature and artwork, with some viewing the tiger as a distant, extraordinary being and others as a beloved buddy living among humans. Tigers were thought to expel evil spirits and were typically shown alongside magpies, which signified messengers of good news. Magpie and tiger is a popular genre in Korean Minhwa folk art. Paintings of the couple can be found in Korean Buddhist temples, as well as on the front gates of residences on New Year's Day, to ask for good fortune and luck in the next year. Today, the Korean tiger is synonymous with the Korean people, and it has even served as South Korea's mascot every time the country has hosted the Olympics. The white Korean tiger has a particular place in Korean culture. According to Korean mythology, a tiger turns white and becomes sacred after going through many difficulties and learning the true meaning of existence. In its wisdom, it concentrated on the deeds of the people's rulers and grew enraged when they did not adequately serve their people. As a result, it has been claimed that the white tiger causes the mighty to become humble and the wealthy to become charitable in its presence. In Vietnamese mythology, the tiger is the sovereign of the jungles. Ruler of the forests. The tiger's images, more often as high-relief sculptures, show themselves on the protective screens at the entrances to temples. In Vietnamese beliefs it appears in various guises. It is a totem ancestor, it is a spirit patron of mountains, it is the war deity who helps armies leaders. In the sphere of magic the tiger is the mortal enemy of evil demons, who threaten both the living and the dead. The fright of the mighty animal engenders numerous names of respect, which the Vietnamese use to avoid mentioning its real name. The taboo was connected with the superstition that when the tiger hears its name, it can come. In some forest areas, before cutting a tree, people humbly sought the tiger's permission. Such is the effect of polite requests and low bows. The tiger as the embodiment of strength and power inspired justified fear. People using it in their favor transformed the fear into respect and delight in front of the beast. Having recognized the tiger as their spirit patron, they performed rituals and made offerings to it. India is home to many spectacularly beautiful forms of wildlife. However, for the forest peoples of India, there can be no doubt that the tiger is the most awe-inspiring animal in the jungle. Tiger worship in India is an age-old phenomenon. The practice of worshipping the deity has existed for hundreds of years, long before there were kings and queens. The indigenous communities living in the forests across the country share a mystical association with the tigers. Their reverence for tigers isn't a mere mythological superstition or belief, but it comes from the innate codependence between the two species. People's faith in tigers is so compelling that there are various names given to them by their devotees, and there are many tiger temples across India. If you are on a tiger safari in India, you will see some tiger temples on that safari, and even guides worship them before going on a tiger safari. There are various philosophies and ideas behind worshipping tigers as a deity. Tiger is not just a wild animal with awe-inspiring appeal and beauty, but it has an enigmatic influence on people's minds. The deity is called by different names in different Indian regions. Wagaba or Bagandeo are some of the various names given to the tiger god venerated by the Baiga, Gond, Korku, and Kol tribes of central India. Meanwhile, the tribes of the Sundarbans in West Bengal believe tigers to be the owners of the forest, and they are worshipped as Banbibi and Dakshin Roi by both indigenous Hindus and Muslims. In most of the forest stations, there is a deity statue. The inhabitants of the Sundarbans are both Hindu and Muslim, but the wilderness has forged its own idiosyncratic beliefs, honored by people of both faiths. Banbibi is depicted as an attractive, sari-clad woman riding unconcernedly on a roaring tiger. Mother, we are going to your kingdom, runs a characteristic puja, or prayer, offered to Banbibi by devotees who must enter the forest. Kindly protect us, please see that we get a safe return, we do not fall prey under your tiger's paw. Sometimes Banbibi's brother, Shajangali, is depicted with her. In dress and countenance, as one authority has written, he seems to belong to Muslim gentry. The dashing Dakshin Roi, depicted as a mustachioed, gun-carrying, sporting gentleman, is the tiger incarnate. Within this nexus of sometimes contradictory associations, he is, like Vishnu, the preserver, principally worshipped for his curative powers. A god can create life and can take it. An actual tiger might be Dakshin Roi, or the animal on which Banbibi rides, or Vishnu. A combination of human-wildlife conflict, and folk cultures and religion that revere tigers as divine entities, has created a population of tiger widows, a category of ostracized women in the Sundarbans. Shrinking tiger habitats, increasing water salinity and declining food resources have contributed to an increase in human-tiger conflict, with humans becoming easy prey. Women who lose their husbands to tiger attacks, or tiger widows, are believed to be ill omen and are often prevented from undertaking the traditional occupations of the islands, namely agriculture, fishing, and crab collection. To make matters worse, tiger attack deaths resulting after illegal entry into the forest disqualifies the family of the deceased from availing financial compensation from the government. Consequently, the widows face the immediate blow of societal as well as financial trauma. This religious tale has led to the superstition, in the Bengal Delta, that tiger attacks are a divine punishment. Hindus and Muslims adhere to this belief and unanimously pray to Banbibi and Dakshin Roi for mercy. Although the region has many widows who lost their spouses to snakes and crocodiles, because of these religious beliefs, it is only tiger widows who are affected by social stigma. Interestingly, different tribes from different regions in India worship tigers for their own unique reasons. The most common belief that tribal communities have about tigers is that they are their protectors. The Baiga tribe of central India believes they are the posterity of the tiger. They also believe that if the tiger gods are happy, they bring rainfall to satisfy their lands, and if they are insulted in any manner, the farmers have to face drought. Tigers also signify fertility, which is why they are believed to bestow a good harvest. In Satpura, central India, the local tribes in this area are animists and they pray to the tiger, explains Poonam Danwati, co-founder of the Tiger Research and Conservation Trust. They find the tiger a very powerful deity. In our Hindu mythology, our goddess Durga is shown riding a tiger. This has been in our culture for generations. Even if a tiger attacks a villager, the devotees do not turn hostile toward their deity. A temple or shrine is built after a tiger has attacked a person, close to where the conflict took place. This shrine will feature an altar and statues of tigers, and the tiger will usually be depicted sitting down and chained to the ground to signify that it will not attack again. The local community will then leave offerings to the tiger. Communities in Satpura don't just look upon tigers in a spiritual sense, Danwati adds. They also believe that when a tiger is near their fields, other herbivores don't want to go there, so crop degradation will be limited. And they also see the benefits tigers can bring them through tourism and employment. Agriculture is the main occupation of the tribal folks living in the protected areas of the forests. The safety of their cultivation is vital to them. Apparently, the tigers protect their crops by keeping the herbivorous animals at bay. The fact that tigers and the tribal communities have coexisted in harmony for ages adds a lot of weight to the theory that tiger numbers have increased significantly due to the presence of tribal folks in the core forest areas. University College London conservation anthropologist Sahil Nijawan believes that modern conservation strategies could take a cue from indigenous traditions of tolerance and respect. Our current model of conservation is founded upon the idea that in protected areas we should eliminate the people, and outside protected areas we should eliminate the wildlife, says Nijawan. The idea of coexistence, however, does not rest on elimination of one or the other, it rests on tolerance from both sides. Tribal communities have dwelled in the wild for generations, which is why they are the keepers of natural habitat and they know how to live with tigers. Hence, protecting the rights of tribal communities can be a way to conserve tigers. To conclude, the tiger's image has had a prolonged evolution, moving from being a totem ancestor for some clans to its integration into religious systems, including Buddhism and Taoism, where it serves as a symbol of various qualities that are deeply embedded in the cultural notions of Asian peoples across multiple levels.